We're here today on the 14th of April 2016, and with me I have Phil McGlue to discuss his time working for Addis Wisdom. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks.
Locals refer to the place where you worked at as the Brush Factory. Can you tell me when you started working for the company?
Yeah, I started summer 1979 as an apprentice.
Right, and how long did you work there for?
I worked there from that 1979 right through till 1996.
And so you started off as an apprentice, so you would have been what sort of age?
16, just leaving school, yeah.
School. Okay. So, and how did you get your job? Was it advertised, or was there a careers master at school?
There was a career master at school, and you just turned up at their office and told them what you want to be, and they generally had sort of contacts. So I went interview at Addis, also at Addis.
Right, okay.
The old engineering place there, and luckily enough got the job at Addis.
Okay. You mentioned the school. What school did you go to, Phil?
I was there at Castle Manor.
Castle Manor.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Just thinking about your job now in particular, perhaps you can just explain what the apprenticeship scheme was when you joined Addis?
Yeah,
was it
sure.
3 or 5 years?
Yeah, generally it was a 4-year apprenticeship, and depending whether you started as a tool maker or whether you started as a general engineer. I started as a general engineer, and then did transfer a few years after that into the tool room, but then later on come back out to the more general engineering. But it was generally 4 years. You had a book to fill in of all your tasks you did throughout the week at work, but you also did 1 day a week at college, West Suffolk, which I did for four years, and then I did an additional 2 years after that at Suffolk College to sort of improve the qualification, basically. So yeah, it was quite a long time at college, but it was good.
So when you was at West Suffolk College, then what courses were you doing there then?
I was basically doing then. The first 3 years would have been ONC engineering, and then it'd be 7 years. But the last 2 years would be HNC engineering, and then because at that time West Suffolk College didn't have the capability to do HND engineering, I had to go to Suffolk College to do that. So I ended up at that time with another 2 years on to do HND engineering.
Which I believe is almost equivalent to a degree.
Yeah, they class as much the same as that, yeah.
And while you was an apprentice, you said you had to fill in the forms. Did you have to do various jobs?
Yeah, there was various tasks you had to do in your book. You had to fill in, which on a Friday, all the apprentices had to go to a set room and fill out their particular task. And generally, they liked a different task from the previous week to show you'd learned something else. So if you made a particular item, used particular skills, used a particular machine, a milling machine or a lathe or something, you'd need to put all that down in the book. Yeah. And then I think the books were generally assessed and looked at by the college if they wanted to. So it was well controlled, and you had a particular period where you spent 6 months or maybe less than that, 4 months in a particular department, because generally there was four departments. There was a packing department, a filling department, the moulding department, and the tool room. So you spent a period of time in each one, travelling each department to learn all various aspects.
Was there a manager that oversaw all the apprentices?
No, not really. There was just the manager or the supervisor in each department would take care of that, basically. So there was nothing particularly as an apprentice manager or something.
Right. And when you started off as an apprentice, were there many apprentices? And how many did they take on in a year?
Yeah, when I went for the interview, we had to do a test. We all sat around the table, and there must have been a dozen of us from school. And from that dozen, that year, 1979, they took on 2.
Right, okay.
But already in the apprenticeship scheme within the company, when I sat down on a Friday at that time, there was probably a dozen or so apprentices, just finishing theirs partway through, or like me, just starting. But as the years rolled on, that did reduce considerably. Yeah.
And when you went for your interview, did you need any qualifications from school, CSEs or GCSEs?
Yeah, they like to see something. You at least achieve something. I was sort of in the technical drawing, metalwork sort of vein of work, so that sort of suited that quite nicely.
And most of the apprentices, once they finish their apprenticeship scheme, did they carry on working for Addis, or did you find that some actually moved on to other companies?
Most stayed. Most stayed. Yeah, there was one or two. It was strange actually, because partway through my apprenticeship, I got offered by the then engineering manager to go and do a degree. And he said to me, "We can go up to." There's two guys already gone and done partway through their degree. He said, "You can go and do a degree if you like, but the problem is we won't have a job for you when you come back."
Right.
So I thought, "No, I don't want to do that. I'd rather keep my job." So I stayed and sort of did it a different route, if you like.
Yeah.
But, no, I couldn't do that, so I kept my job.
Yeah, I understand. So moving on from your apprenticeship, then, once you were made up, what would be your job title? When you finished the apprenticeship?
Interesting. When I finished the apprenticeship, I was in the tool room at that time, so I was then classed as a toolmaker.